Lil Scrappy isn't holding back any longer. Fists flew, secrets were revealed, and Stevie J was caught in the crossfire of a betrayal so deep it could end careers. This isn't reality TV. This is real life. Outside the courthouse today, the drama wasn't just legal, it was lethal. Cameras caught Lil Scrappy lunging straight at Stevie J without hesitation or warning, just pure unfiltered rage. And guess what? Word on the street is that this explosion wasn't random. Rather, it was the result of a betrayal so brutal and personal that it broke the already fragile foundation of their messy triangle with Bambi. Now for the kicker. What was said in that courtroom that had him prepared to throw hands on the scene? And more importantly, why is everyone suddenly going silent? Stay tuned, because what you're about to hear is more than just drama. It's betrayal, it's revenge, and it's the truth they don't want you to know. Let's break it down. Let's fast forward the tape. We're outside a courtroom in Fulton County, and the tension is so intense that you could cut it with a butter knife. Lil Scrappy is pacing, his jaw clenched and his fists balled up. Why? Because inside that courthouse, a bomb had just detonated, and the man she allegedly worked with was none other than Stevie J. Now, let's not act brand new if you've been following this story. Ain't you already know that Scrappy and Bambi's relationship has always been troubled by accusations, cheating scandals, social media jobs, custody drama, you name it. However, what recently surfaced in court took things to a whole new level, and it wasn't just betrayal. It was premeditated sabotage, according to leaked documents presented during a custody hearing. Bambi had been secretly working with Stevie J behind the scenes, feeding him information about Scrappy's finances, parenting styles, and even alleged personal struggles in order to bolster her case and undermine Scrappy's credibility. As one anonymous source close to the case told reporters, this wasn't just a woman fighting for custody. This was a takedown mission. Bambi wanted to end Scrappy, not just win. You may be wondering why Stevie J of all people would get involved in this mess and what he stands to gain by helping Bambi sabotage Scrappy, but rumors have it that he had his own agenda. It seems that tension had been building between him and Scrappy ever since that infamous Love and Hip Hop Atlanta reunion. When Stevie made some shady remarks about Bambi looking better off without Scrappy, I thought it was just a TV drama. But it turns out the shade went deeper. Rumor has it that Stevie J saw Bambi as a possible ally in his covert plan to gain more influence in the show's upcoming reboot. And that siding with her, especially during a messy, high-profile courtroom case, gave him exactly the kind of controversy clout he's always thrived on. Here we see cameras flashing, Bambi leaving the courthouse with her legal team acting like she just won the Super Bowl. Stevie J following her smirking, and Scrappy waiting to watch boiling. Witnesses claim that the moment Stevie J stepped outside, Scrappy charged. Security guards attempted to restrain him, but he managed to get past one enough. Land a punch that allegedly grazed Stevie's jaw before they were both pulled apart. And let's be honest, that's when the internet went completely crazy. Within seconds, Chuck Scrappy's photos went viral on Twitter. And before the hour was up, fans, bloggers, and even other reality stars began to weigh in. Erica Dixon, Scrappy's ex, and his daughter's mother deleted their tweet, telling everyone that real ones don't fold. Michelle reposted a video of the fight, captioning it, "It's always the ones smiling in your face." But the real shocker, Mama D knew it was only a matter of time before she came through swinging. Naturally, she went live on Instagram as soon as she heard what had happened, saying, "I've been told y'all Bambi was poisoned, but now y'all want to listen. My sis, crazy. Crazy, he's a man." Pushing things too far, she included screenshots of purported direct messages between Bambi and Stevie J discussing Scrappy's weaknesses and how to use them in court. Were they real? And did they go viral? The courtroom tapes revealed a darker story, as everyone was still in shock. In a recently leaked audio recording, Bambi was heard laughing softly and remarking, "That was easier than I thought. He took the bait." The tape ends immediately after that, but those 6 words were enough to turn the internet upside down. What was the bait? Was the courtroom confrontation planned? Was this entire legal battle just a setup to break Scrappy emotionally? And publicly, people began pulling receipts. Fans found old Love and Hip Hop clips where Bambi and Stevie J were seen talking in corners and whispering to each other, giving Scrappy sighs. One fan even made a timeline that connected every time Bambi and Stevie J appeared together on screen to significant moments in Scrappy's decline, from his financial difficulties to his numerous public breakdowns, beginning to resemble a long-term psychological operation, and now people were demanding answers. Was Bambi's betrayal purely emotional, or was it also financial? Did she assist Stevie J in gaining access to Scrappy's private information? Were there legal ramifications beyond custody disputes? Stevie J's camp remained silent, refusing interviews, and his Instagram comments were locked. However, silence in such cases speaks loudly. And that's where things get even messier, because just as the video of the attack went viral, new rumors emerged that indicate this wasn't the first time Stevie J attempted to sabotage someone behind the scenes. Using personal relationships, an anonymous producer from the shows we pick up right where we left off with a sealed legal document leaking online and sending shockwaves through Atlanta's entertainment and legal circles. The file allegedly submitted by Lil Scrappy's legal team wasn't just some petty court paperwork. It was a strategic nuke aimed directly at Bambi and Stevie J. Previous seasons claimed that Stevie plays a long game. He's charming on the outside, but he's always calculating. If he saw Bambi as a pawn to checkmate Scrappy, he wouldn't hesitate. Let's get started. The gossip page hit DEFCON 1. The document, which was classified as confidential for court use, only made some jaw-dropping allegations. In bold letters, it claimed that respondent Bambi had been in continuous contact with a third party, Stevie J, to coordinate a defamatory media campaign, disseminate false narratives, and influence potential witnesses with the intent to manipulate the outcome of this trial. Let's break that down. This isn't just about cheat-sheeting. It isn't just about betrayal. This is about criminal intent using private relationships to destroy someone's legal standing in court. Although these claims are technically unverified, the file included screenshots of email threads and even alleged text messages between Bambi and Stevie J. Keep poking him. He'll snap eventually. Once he does, we've got him. That line alone sent fans into a tailspin. They were accusing Bambi and Stevie of emotionally manipulating Lil Scrappy into a public outburst. It's the same one that resulted in his now viral attack outside the courthouse. This wasn't just personal, it was tactical. While the court hasn't officially responded to the leaked document, legal analysts online were quick to weigh in. Attorney Odd Lex, the lawyer, posted on X, formerly Twitter, saying if these messages are real, we're looking at potential charges of collusion, emotional coercion, and even witness tampering. This goes beyond family court. It's criminal. But here's the real kicker. According to several courtroom sources, Stevie J has discreetly hired a different legal team. This isn't just any team, though. It's a powerful crisis management firm that has reportedly handled celebrity scandals, non-disclosure agreements, and hush money negotiations. What this tells us is that he's getting ready for fallout. Let's face it, this isn't SDSTV first time dealing with controversy. From his notorious battles with Jocelyn Hernandez to dubious behind-the-scenes deals on Love and Hip Hop, Stevie has always had just enough plausible deniability to get away with it. Enter Mama D once more. After learning about the sealed doc leak, she returned to Instagram Live with more uncensored commentary containing what she claimed to be handwritten letters from Bambi to Scrappy pleading for forgiveness. The letters were full of emotional manipulation and half apologies. Mama D read aloud, "I know what I did was wrong, but I had to do what was best for me. You were slipping, and I needed to win." She then looked directly into the camera and said, "That ain't love, that's war." By this point, the fan base was divided, with some supporting Scrappy and flooding his page with messages. You deserve better. Deserve better. Then came the next bombshell, and this one changed everything. An anonymous whistleblower posing as a production assistant on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta sent a detailed voice note to a gossip podcast, asserting that everything that happened in court was prearranged months ago. Stevie J pitched the idea to producers about a custody war scandal that could increase ratings for the show. She used you for clout and custody. Bambi played chess, but you're still the king. Others, surprisingly, began defending Bambi. They claimed that Scrappy had been emotionally absent and that Bambi was just being strategic, not malicious. Bambi consented to the reboot in exchange for storyline control and editing rights. Let's pause. If that's the case, then the entire situation, the betrayal, the attack, the leaked texts, even the sealed documents may have been staged as part of a larger media stunt. However, here's the plot twist. According to the same whistleblower, Scrappy believed the custody hearings were completely genuine. Bambi and Stevie were allegedly cashing quiet checks and getting ready for a redemption arc on reality TV. When fans learned of this, the betrayal felt even more profound, not just legal, but also financial. Imagine fighting for your child and your reputation while your ex and her covert co-conspirator are turning their backs. Part 2 of this scandal reached a nuclear level at that point. Reporters started looking into the production company behind Love and Hip Hop. And several former cast members, including Tommy Lee and Carly Red, suddenly became very vocal. Carly tweeted, "Y'all, Stevie, just messy FTV. Nah. Hey messy. In real life too, ask me how I know." Tommy Lee added, "Ain't no loyalty in that crew. Everybody playing everybody for a storyline, Scrappy, just the latest casualty." Meanwhile, court insiders disclosed that Scrappy had filed an emergency motion seeking a media gag order, claiming that the public spectacle was endangering his mental health, well-being, and well-being of his deathy. TDU motion included a psychological evaluation that stated that Scrappy had been going through a lot of emotional distress because of the betrayal, media pressure, and continuous harassment from outside parties connected to the respondent. That marinate because, while Bambi and Stevie were allegedly cashing in, Scrappy was falling apart. And that brings us to the third and final level of this mess. The same source who leaked the Doxit docs hinted that another name was about to enter the scandal. The hint was ambiguous, but let's say that the puppet master might woman. A woman, and she's not new to reality TV fans, were quick to point fingers. Was it Scott Young, the producer of the Love and Hip Hop empire, who was pushing Bambi and Steve? JJ to stir things up for ratings. So, this isn't just a personal feud. It's corporate exploitation at its worst. Turning a black father's trauma into clickbait and passing off sabotage as entertainment. And it's not over yet. As this section comes to an end, there are rumors that Scrappy's legal team is getting ready to subpoena production emails, payment records, and behind-the-scenes footage in an effort to demonstrate that what happened wasn't just manipulation, but rather a conspiracy. We left off with subpoenas being prepared, production receipts being examined, and rumors that a certain reality TV mogul, you know exactly who we're talking about, might be the hidden mastermind behind the chaos. Now, buckle up, because Part 3 takes us deeper into the fallout. By deeper, I mean careers collapsing, reputations drowning, and secret footage coming back to bite. Let's get started. A few days after Scrappy's legal team filed the motion to subpoena production materials from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, an anonymous Reddit user named Insider ATL Truth released a zip file that went viral faster than a cheating rumor on a reunion stage. Stevie J's name was listed next to a note that read, "Bonus delivers altercation with Scrappy, target air date summer finale." Excuse me, but you're telling me that a literal budget bonus was written into a production schedule for a physical altercation between Scrappy and Stevie J that just so happened to take place outside a courtroom during a child custody hearing? That's not reality TV. That's orchestration. But wait, it gets messier, because buried in that same folder was something no one anticipated. 2 weeks prior to the attack, a wire transfer receipt from a shell company purportedly associated with the Love and Hip Hop franchise was sent directly to Bambi's LLC. The amount was $9,500, and the description read, "Promotional compensation." When this news broke, bloggers called for a boycott. YouTubers filmed reaction videos with titles like "Bambi sold out Scrappy for a check." And Stevie J set up a father for reality TV ratings. Mama D was correct all along. Speaking of Mama D, she was already back on live, this time in full regalia, sipping from a wine glass. Surrounded by screenshots from the leaked folder, she read them aloud one by one as if hosting her own virtual court show. She said, "If this doesn't prove it, then the devil's got you all fooled. My baby used, played, and played betrayed. And now that everyone knows, let's talk about what's really going on behind the scenes." According to multiple insiders, Scrappy, who is now armed with undeniable receipts, met with his legal counsel for 6 hours straight the night after the Reddit leak. They were preparing a civil lawsuit for defamation, emotional distress, and fraud. Not only Bambi Ambi, but also against Stevie J and possibly the entire production company responsible for the show. Speaking to Atlanta Daily Buzz, the case stated that Scrappy could sue for millions of dollars in damages if he could demonstrate that emotional manipulation and stage scenarios had a direct impact on his mental health and public image. Meanwhile, Stevie J went silent, leaving behind no Instagram posts, no Twitter rants, only a deleted TikTok and a deactivated comment section. However, Bambi wasn't going out without a fight, and a few days later, she issued a statement through her representative stating that any money received was for promotional purposes related to the show's airing. Miss Bambi vehemently denies any involvement in a setup or manipulation of Mr. Scrappy, stated that all of the footage was covered by a contract and examined by network lawyers before it was produced. Translation: I followed the instructions in the contract and blamed the network. But even that might not help her, because behind the scenes, BH1 executives were reportedly holding emergency meetings to deal with the scandal's mounting backlash. According to a leaked memo, advertisers were worried about partnering with a show that was accused of using real legal trauma for entertainment purposes. In other words, the money might start walking, and that's when the ultimate betrayal occurred. Unexpected LHHATL producer from the Love and Hip Hop franchise came forward in a shocking interview on a YouTube series called TV Untamed Blurred, Bird and Voice Distorted. She revealed everything. "We were instructed to cause chaos, period. Were dossiers on the personal trauma of the members, including Scrappy's custody case, which was identified as potential drama. We were told to take advantage of it, prolong it, and lead the audience to take sides." She said that scripts were passed off as scene outlines and that talent was manipulated off camera with staged text messages, deceptive phone calls, and emotional ambushes. The internet went crazy and CBS started speaking out. Even Candy Burus from Real Housewives of Atlanta posted "Reality TV gone too far." But as the media landscape deteriorated, Lil Scrappy broke his silence. He shared an uncut video of himself in his kitchen hoodie, voice cracking with no glam setup or background music. He said, "This is the only person I care about winning for. All the rest of y'all, you already lost." At the end of the video, he held up a picture of his daughter and said, "This is the only person I care about winning for. All the rest of y'all have already lost." Then the sympathy came flooding in. But keep in mind that the video outside the courthouse, where Scrappy lunged at Stevie J, had to be restrained and was dragged back by security. Most people believed it was just a heated moment. But now that the video may be used as evidence, Scrappy's attorneys have asked for access to all unreleased Love and Hip Hop video files, alleging that Stevie J purposefully set up the attack to undermine Scrappy's custody claims. If they can show that the scene was set up, Scrappy will no longer appear to be an unstable father, but rather a victim of psychological warfare driven to the brink by a co-parenting arrangement that turned into a toxic production trap. The fallout could be historic if this goes to court. Bambi by Stevie J and possibly VH1 executives could be charged with a combination of civil and even criminal charges. Depending on what more than that, though, this could be the end of love and hip-hop as we know it, because when the cast is reduced to collateral damage, when fatherhood is sacrificed for viewership, and when betrayal becomes a script, it ceases to be television and becomes something much more dangerous. And that's the real scandal, because now that fans are waking up, people are questioning every plot line. And those who built their empires on lies may find their castles falling apart in public. This isn't just about Scrappy. It's about every celebrity who has ever been sucked up and spit out by a machine that thrives on chaos. If this lawsuit proceeds, it will be the first domino in a chain of devastation that could reveal decades of behind the scenes exploitation. So stay tuned, because the fight isn't over. Now, if what we just discovered is even partially accurate, then what we're seeing isn't just a messy TV moment. Rather, it's a full-on breakdown of a system that was built on manipulation, betrayal, and staged trauma for ratings. Let that sink in. Lil Scrappy wasn't just a cast member. He was a father, a man involved in a custody battle, and a real person trying to keep family together while cameras rolled and his wealth increased behind the scenes. And for a bonus check, a season finale cliffhanger. So I ask you, was Scrappy set up? Did Stevie J really mastermind the meltdown? Was Bambi just another pawn in? Or was she playing chess the entire time? Tell me in the comments what you think. Do you follow Team Scrappy? Or do you think there's more to this story that hasn't been revealed yet? This is bigger than a reality show. It's about preventing real lives from being destroyed for phony plot points. Make some noise. Hit the like button if you believe Scrappy deserves justice. Subscribe if you're sick of the lies, and turn on notifications, because believe me, this saga isn't over. We have more receipts to uncover, more secrets to reveal, and more truths to share that the industry doesn't want you to hear. Ones that seem more real than they actually are. Until the next time, keep awake, vocal, and prepared. The revolution is broadcast on television.